Thank you very much, Rick, for the opportunity to speak here today. So I'm going to talk to you about securing the future and how Evolv Express and Expedite are transforming protection in crowded spaces. So firstly, thank you for the opportunity, as I say, to Rick and the ASC team. I was kindly volunteered to speak to you by a colleague after he'd had a conversation with Rick and said, there's a great opportunity for you to speak and present to all of these people, which I'm glad that I get the opportunity to speak to. So I think, one, we would agree that successful security is often one that is forgotten about and certainly isn't in the headlines, right? That's paramount to really what everyone in this room contributes to, including Evolv Technology, right? When it goes well, no one mentions it. You don't really get much of a pat on the back. But obviously, when it goes badly, it's going to be front page news. And that's forgotten about because visitors and fans don't want to remember the security process that they've gone through. They want to remember the experience that they've come to see, whether that be the pop concert, the sports stadium, the library itself, and coming and using the resources that they've got here. But it's also important to recognise that there isn't a single technology that's going to mitigate all of those risks, right? We heard from an insurance point of view earlier on today. It's about, can we mitigate risks? Can we eliminate risks? There isn't going to be one technology or one person process that's going to enable you to do that. So working together and layering security can help mitigate as many of those risks as possible. This is one of our venues, the O2 Arena in London. They replaced about 34 metal detectors with 7 Evolv Express systems. And they were able to balance that safety, speed, and satisfaction I'm talking about, right? Increasingly, we're seeing that venues are not only looking at safety and security, but they are looking at satisfaction and guest experience as a key driver to getting people back into their venues and back where we want to be. So they've been able to do that. We look at these potential concerns and challenges that have got up on this screen, and sadly, we operate in a world that is increasingly, public threats are evolving, crowds are increasing, and traditional security can't keep up. It's time-consuming and invasive. It's been brought over by necessity from an aviation environment to look at aviation risks. I think we would all agree that an arena or a sports venue is not the same challenge from a threat risk profile as an aviation environment, right? It's slightly different. I'd like you to just take a minute to look at those concerns that are on those slides, right? From a visitor concern point of view, the security team, and a management point of view, and think if you or your customers see any of those concerns at your venue. We increasingly see venues moving towards that safety, security, and service model, where guest experience is a key driver. They want a return on investment, and costs, as we've heard today, are a very important driver as well for a lot of these venues, right? It's costly security normally in most instances, right? We're talking about physical things, people. It costs a lot of money to do it. And incidents do continue to rise because of polarisation, increasing care health, mental health problems in society. Social media can amplify that, and then just generally rage within society. I'm sure you're all too familiar with all of these things that are on my screen here. We've gone from metal detectors to pat-down searches and potential alarm fatigue. And I think you would understand as well that they create challenges for the venue, the operators of that venue, as well as kind of a welcoming guest experience that you can foresee. So traditional approaches, whilst, as I say, that they are necessary, can result in long queues, creation of soft targets outside the venue in what I would call a grey space, right? Who's responsible? Is it the venue because it's outside the venue, or is it the council, or is it the Met Police, or is it someone else? Can result in unhappy guests. No one wants their first experience of a venue to be waiting in a queue, right? I'm going to the O2 to see someone that I want to see. I've waited a long time. I want to get in the venue and experience it. The venue doesn't want you waiting outside either. They want you buying food and beverage, right? They want you buying an extra beer and increasing their revenues. And we can certainly facilitate that. So, there are lost revenue opportunities associated with traditional approaches. So who are Evolv? So Evolv is reimagining how venue safety is thought out with intelligent, non-intrusive systems designed to blend security with hospitality. Right? This is a system, or these are systems that have been designed for the ground up for these types of challenges. They've not been brought over from another venue. This company was designed around that. You know, our mission is to make the world a safer and more enjoyable place to live, work, learn and play. That for us, for me, Nathan and Courtney, who are in this room at the back there, and the rest of Evolv, is not just a slogan, it's how we were born as a company. It's why I'm here with you today. Our company was born as a result of the Boston Marathon bombings in 2013 with the statement of how can we make people safer without being as intrusive? Right? How can we flip the paradigm of security and ensure that we know that 90-odd% of people that are going to these events have no ill intent, right? And just want to go in and see the venue. Traditional security approaches are the other way around. I'm going to assume that you're all a threat because I'm going to ask you to take everything out of your pockets. I'm going to search all through your bags, right? Using a manual approach. So that's how the company was born. So I'd like you to meet, first of all, Evolv Express. Nathan didn't know it, but he did meet Evolv Express at the front door of the library today. And the reason why the guard didn't need to search his bag was because the system had done the job for him. Nathan didn't get asked to search his bag because his bag was searched by the system and it didn't see anything in his bag that shouldn't have been there. Right? So that's the core principle of the message. And Rick mentioned earlier about the AO Arena and the challenges we had post-installation there with the well-publicised events that have happened at that arena. It was understandable, the reaction of people going, why haven't I been searched? The reality of the situation is they had all been searched and their bags had all been searched. And we had to go on a comprehensive media campaign with the AO Arena and with ASM to create, in line with their Venue Shield initiative, videos that went out to every user or every customer that came into the venue. Everyone that purchased a ticket to the AO Arena got a video message with an animation of showing you what security looked like and that you were actually being screened. And they went really outward with their communications of saying that they've adopted new technologies. The AO Arena have done the same. When they implemented Evolv, they put new LED boards all the way across the entrances. They've got a tannoy announcement telling people that they're going to be searched with this technology and you're just about to walk through a system. You don't need to take things out of your pockets, but you will be searched. So I'm just going to, hopefully this video plays, and this is Evolv Express, right? Oh. So you'll see people are walking through Express. As this lady comes through, you saw the image pop up on the tablet, the lights went red. You see again, you see an image of that lady and what we call our red box detection, right? Red box search. That's a targeted search to say that that lady has something potentially on that area of her body that enables in a secondary search area the guard to find the weapon that she has on her, right? You can then tag that weapon and it goes into a back office analytics program called Insights. That's really useful for venues because you can get things like arrival curves and you can see when people are coming to your venue, what doors are busier. It can help with your operational efficiencies as you go. Okay? It's high throughput, free flow entry, up to 3,600 people an hour for a dual lane system using 4 to 5 guards, right? I don't say that lightly. People don't often believe those numbers, but that we are routinely achieving those numbers or above in arenas across the country right now, like the AO Arena or the O2 or other venues across the country. And also, importantly, mainly for the people in this room and end users, it's been independently tested to UK MPSA DMD test standards. There is a specific test that the UK government developed for this type of technology that is available for all manufacturers to test against, so you have an apples to apples comparison, us versus our competitors. And I would encourage everyone in this room to make sure we are more than happy to provide you results of Evolv Express, under NDA of course. It is security sensitive information, we do consider it like that. But we are more than happy to share that with you and show you what we do. And I think it's important for everyone in this room to understand that they can request that of our competition as well. And we would encourage you to do so, right? And go and see their technology and make sure that you are getting the right detection performance from the system and that their claims are verified. So how it works, right? It's an AI-based concealed weapons detection system, right? So it's consistent. The system doesn't care whether it's a person walking through with a bag, without a bag, whether it's in their pocket or not. It's looking for it as it's walking through the system. It's repeatable, right? We saw earlier, you know, everyone's been in a stadium environment where the first pat-down search has looked very different from the 1,000th pat-down search that person's performed today, right? This is going to be the same every single time as long as it's on the same sensitivity levels, right? It's free flow, it's efficient, it's robust, it can operate in high traffic environments, it's movable, right? And then we've got this red box resolution, right? Helps reduce potential bias. You know who it was and where it was, right? It's non-invasive because of that. You can ask people to take things out of their pockets and then potentially do a hand wand over it. It supports operations. So separate flow and alarm resolution areas can make sure that, in our experience, between 80 and 90% of patrons are searched by the system and they walk straight into the venue after being searched by the system, depending on the ConOps and the environment that you find. And you get a welcoming entry. You know, these panels that are on the side of the system, they can be branded. You know, they can be wrapped into the right colours of the system itself. The next system that I'd like you to introduce you to is Evolv Expedite. This is a relatively new system for us. It's a weapons detection system again, which pairs Express with Expedite, an X-ray scanner we designed again from the ground up. So one of our co-founders come to an aviation X-ray environment and recognized that actually having an X-ray machine to work in conjunction with our Evolv Express will help in different types of environments, potentially those in high clutter with lots of bags, lots of laptops, that kind of thing. Okay? So how this works is the system uses a red light, green light. Again, you don't need an operator with this system. The system makes the decision. Is there anything in that bag that I need to be concerned about? If no threat is detected, the conveyor belt keeps moving and people will just keep rolling through the system. And that means that your security, and if there is something in the system, lights go red, you get an image of bag on a tablet and it tells you which bag is alarmed. You take that bag away, do the search on that bag for the secondary search. That means your security team does not need to interpret a complex X-ray image, which is really hard, right? It's really, really difficult. And that's something that we've built into the system. It's designed to be intuitive and easy for the system to use. Again, if we can hover over that picture, you can play a video of how this works in a real-world environment.
Visitors just place their bags on the Expedite conveyor belt while walking through Express. If the system doesn't alert, the belt continues moving, allowing them to retrieve their bags on the other side and keep moving. Expedite was designed to leverage the advantages of AI to allow the conveyor to run at walking speed.
So again, it's designed to work in conjunction. The belt speed is such that you can process up to 2,000 bags an hour. So again, in line with the Expedite Express system, you can process people quickly and efficiently. We referenced some of our customer base earlier. There's a lot of different people on this slide, a lot of different environments that we've got, right? So anywhere from the MCG down in Australia, 100,000 people, 20 units being screened year round now. Aston Villa Football Club with 7 units that are primarily used in their hospitality areas, the same as Manchester City. ASM Global, as part of their Venue Shield initiative, and Rick mentioned Gary Simpson earlier today, you know, we're in every venue, or will be in every venue for their European enterprise very shortly. We've scanned 1 billion people at facilities worldwide since 2019 using this technology. 400,000 customer reported and verified weapons in 2023 alone. The majority of those are in the US, being very honest with you, right? We're a US-based company, but it just proves the technology is working. On any given Sunday, we screen up to 2 million people. Any day, pretty much, we screen 2 million people. The MCG last year, we scanned over 4 million people across their venue, and the same, the O2, we probably scanned 2 million people across the different events they have. And the companies that we partner with, like the British Library, like the O2 Arena and ASM, we've now got 800 plus of those globally that we are partnered with and that are using our technology on a daily basis. So, are you ready for the future, right? So, better security, improved efficiency, superior guest experience, and scalable for any venue. I think the first few things that I'll talk about here is that customer testing and the verified detection performance claims. So yes, we have an independent test report against the UK DMD test standard, but that has also been verified by people like Stephen Thompson at the O2 that took those test results, saw them, believed us, but then went, I want to test them myself to verify them. So we've got customers that have independently of our test results verified that we say what we will, we do what we say we do, right? So it's not just that. The enhanced guest experience. We've seen, specifically concert venues and sports venues where there's been an increase in F&B spend by up to 30% as a result of deploying this technology, because people can be in the venue for up to 30 minutes to an hour earlier than they were previously. That's big numbers for these types of venues when you're talking about 10, 20, 30, 40,000 people going in and those kind of things. The directed red box search that we have really assists with that secondary screening operation. You know exactly where you need to search, the area that you need to search, and what you're looking out for effectively. We have actionable data and analytics. So this is a digital cloud-connected Internet of Things system. I can now go on my phone live right now and look at any system in the world and see whether it's operational, whether it's on, whether it's operating at optimal performance, what the sensitivity settings are, how many people they've had through in the last hour and a half. And if I was a venue, like the British Library, I would have access to be able to change those settings remotely from anywhere in the world. So they can be off-site away and see that, there's been a nearby incident and they need to change the sensitivity level up. They can do that remotely. They don't need to go down to a system and go and do it. And they can do that, if they had a fleet of systems, they can do it for the fleet of systems remotely, all at once. Ease of training and operations. We've got a comprehensive learning management system that all customers get access to. They also get access to a resource called The Bridge, which is a community of users that all use Evolv around the world, so they can get best practice from those users. I've just referenced that fleet-wide remote control, which is really, really important, especially for people that have got multiple systems. It's durable and field-proven. We've had systems out in the field now for over 4 years at many of our customers. They're now starting to renew with us on a regular basis. So we operate on a subscription basis. So they're starting to come to the end of their initial 4-year term, and they're all starting to renew with us. We integrate with security operations platforms. What does that mean? We've got an open API. All of the data from our system, the video feeds, the camera images that you saw, can be piped into any VMS software. We've got out-of-the-box solutions with Genetec, Vigilon, etc. But we've got an open API, so if the venue chooses a different one from them, those images can be put through to the SOC, and they can be then in that SOC, you can do things like facial recognition, like we heard about earlier, right, to look for people on banned lists. We have a deep operational knowledge and an expert team. The 3 people that you've got in the room today, I've been in the security industry 17 years now with equipment. Nathan's been in slightly longer. Courtney maybe slightly less and slightly less grey hair, certainly than me. But our expert team, right, we pride ourselves on knowing venues and security, right, and it's what we specialise in. And because of the way that we sell our systems on a subscription basis, we don't just dump a box and run. We're in it for the long term for the customer to set them up for success. So whether you're managing a stadium, museum, entertainment, or other venue, I think that Evolv brings serious upgrades to that space and how you can protect it, right? Last bit from me. So thank you very much for being given the opportunity. I'll hand over back a little bit early. I like to always give some bit time back and we can go to some questions. If you'd like to connect, then please, my email address is on the slide. You can connect with me on LinkedIn as well. Nathan and Courtney are just at the back of the room as well. They're just slightly waving if you want to connect with them also. But I'd like to thank you again for the time that you've given me and Evolv today. And I'll hand back over to Rick.